Hi friends, this is Mangalaprathaban Muralidharan from India talking about Everyday English Training Program, Module 1. What are we going to do in this Module 1? It's very simple. I'm going to explain you the basics of Everyday English program that we offer through Fluency Center in different parts of the world. Very simple. If you're a basic level learner or a primary level learner or a level 1 learner, it's very easy for you to pick up language. Certain basic concepts of language that I am going to talk about. One is language is the most effective medium of human communication. Language is a human means of communication. The English language that we are going to learn ought to be learned through functional method. Like we're going to talk about a method of learning which is to understand how language operates, functions in day-to-day situations. One easy thing I would tell you is to understand language is the first step that you take towards learning a language. What should we do to understand a language? Very simple. Start listening to the language all the time. How do I do it, sir? I don't really understand the English channels. I have never listened to English for more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Why do you ask me to listen to English? Very good question. Easy to inform you. Once you start listening to English, what happens is you tend to understand English. First, you start with your own variety of English. For example, if you are somebody living in India, listen to Indian English or general Indian English. Listen to Indian news channels, Indian radio channels, or Indian podcasts, Indian YouTube channels in English. So that is going to help you to understand whatever you listen to. Number 2, what else you can do? Number 2 is that you have to work on the basics. When I say basics, I mean the basics of grammar. You should know what are nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, verbs, tenses, applications of tenses, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. All these are very important for you. You should know the basics of grammar if you want to write or speak effectively. So your writing supports you in a big way if you're going to communicate officially to somebody, or in a day-to-day communication, even to write an SMS or send a WhatsApp message, or to write something very pleasant to your family or friends in English. That is going to be useful to you. So you should know absolutely the basic sentences, sentence structures, sentence formation methods in English. So how most of us find it difficult to do it. We struggle to form a sentence because whatever we think in our language, we find it difficult to translate that into English language. One technique which I have been advocating for years is learn to think in English. Whenever you speak in English, think in English and speak in English. If you speak in Malayalam, think in Malayalam and speak in Malayalam. If you want to speak in Tamil, think in Malayalam, think in Tamil, speak in Tamil. If you want to speak in Hindi, think in Hindi and speak in Hindi. If you want to speak in Japanese, think in Japanese and speak in Japanese. So whichever language you want to learn, you can really learn so easily if you don't have any self-doubt or fear. So you'll have to eliminate fear from your mind if you want to speak in English. Okay. So learning grammar is the first step that you do. What is the second step? The second step is learning to read certain basics in English. Certain basic, easy English narrations, stories, etc. You can start with some basic stories or basic letters or basic news reports. I have an exclusive video on this. Habit formation and learning English. It's available in the YouTube. You can go and click that and get to know how to read newspapers and pick up language. I suggest nowadays people to read self-help books. For example, you have a book called Design Your Day. Read every day 2 pages. Understand whatever they're given there. simplify it in your own language. Write it down. Share it with me in the WhatsApp group. I will just have a look at it and tell you how good it is or what should you improve, etc. But learn to frame sentences. Learn to frame simple and easy sentences. That is the step that you're going to do at this level. Okay. What else can we do? Listening to English is quite important for us to speak in English. I always say a child who speaks in a language picks up language from the parents, grandparents, neighbors, street vendors, anybody and everybody. So you have to be consciously aware of the kind of English language being used in your society or in your surroundings or in the media, etc. So then you can pick up that language so easily and communicate with them. And whenever you communicate, never worry about the mistakes. We all learn to make errors, and from then we consciously correct it. Even if we overcome errors, there are occasions where we go wrong. We make mistakes. So nobody is perfect in learning anything. So we all have perfection as a goal to achieve something. Then you're writing. See, whatever you've read, write about it. Write simple, easy English. Send it across. So these are things that you have to keep in mind in the first level of everyday English. And the next episode, I'm going to talk about the basics of grammar. And then I'll talk about basics of collocations. And then I'll talk about the basics of listening, basics of reading, basics of writing, and basics of speaking. Right? I hope this video is extremely useful for those who have joined in Everyday English through WhatsApp learning group and the online learning group. I wish you all success. If you have any doubts, you can always call me. For your information, you can always listen to my podcast available in the Spotify, Anchor, Apple iTunes, Radio Public, etc., Breaker app, etc. So it's available in more than 6 or 7 platforms all over the world, and people from 8 countries listen to my podcast. So it's going to be useful to you if you start making use of my podcast. Listen to the podcast, share your information, listen to various other types of podcasts, enrich yourself. And this Everyday English program will help you to be an internationally competent communicator. Wish you all success. Have a great day. Bye-bye.